Recorded Books and RB Digital present Dare to Matter, Your Path to Making a Difference Now by Jordan Kassalow and Jennifer Krause. Narrated by Jason Culp with Ramon de Ocampo and Nina Alvamar. In memory of my beloved mother, who opened up the world to me through her light and love. J.S.K. For Jeffrey, Becca, Ben, and Jenna, who have given me a whole new way to matter. J.E.K. For years to come, the debris of a convulsed world will beset our steps. It will require a purpose stronger than any man and worthy of all men to calm and inspirit us. A sane society whose riches are happy children, men and women, beautiful with peace and creative activity, is not going to be ordained for us. We must make it ourselves. Helen Keller.
Forward. In 2003, I found myself working at a New York City think tank dedicated to coming up with policies for resolving deadly conflict. I was 23, a recent college graduate. Like any fresh-from-the-quad young person, plunked down into his first real estate adult job, I spent 50% of my time trying to navigate my nascent career and 50% of my time trying to figure out whether I'd settled on the right career to begin with. What I ultimately wanted was as straightforward as it was vague: to have a meaningful, positive impact on the world. And while I worked on puzzling out the specifics of that goal, I realized one thing pretty swiftly. The world of policy was not the quickest way to get there. I quit my think tank job and started poking around my network of family and friends. One of those friends introduced me to her eye doctor, explaining that he always seemed to have fascinating side projects, including a project dedicated to distributing glasses in the developing world. She figured it might be useful for me to speak with him. I met Jordan at his Upper East Side optometry practice, and we walked to lunch. Before we'd even ordered, Jordan sketched out some facts that got my synapses firing. Did I know that glasses had been around for about 700 years, and yet almost 1 billion people worldwide lacked access to this vital tool for living? I didn't. Did I know that a single pair of glasses could increase an individual's productivity by 35%, and her income by 20%? Nope. Did I know that 90% of individuals with vision impairment live in the developing world? Also no. Over lunch, Jordan explained his vision to start a nonprofit that would make steps toward addressing these issues. The organization would train women in developing countries to give eye exams and sell glasses to members of their communities at affordable prices. Eyeglasses, Jordan explained, were one of the most cost-effective and immediately useful interventions available. As we spoke, a couple of things struck me. Jordan's vision was remarkably ambitious, but it also made practical sense. We are so frequently confronted with sprawling, intractable, impossibly complex problems, with solutions that are overly expensive or difficult to scale or technologically infeasible. Jordan's idea was sensible and pragmatic. I could instantly see how it might work. Rather than treat people as needy beneficiaries, Jordan's model approached them as value-conscious consumers. He was not interested in the paternalistic, we-know-best rhetoric of many well-intentioned but under-effective nonprofits and non-governmental organizations, NGOs. He was interested in treating people with dignity. After all, everyone who has worn a pair of glasses knows that eyewear is a core part of your identity. A pair of glasses can be the most visible thing on your face. It doesn't matter whether you're a 23-year-old kid in a Manhattan restaurant or a great-grandmother in El Salvador. Nobody wants to sport an unattractive pair of glasses. Nobody knew this better than Jordan, who had catered to some of the choosiest customers in the world through his practice, as well as training on the ground as an optometric student volunteer in Latin America, and a development professional with Helen Keller International in sub-Saharan Africa. He had truly seen both sides of the coin. One thing led to another, and Jordan asked me to come on board and move down to El Salvador to work on the pilot program for what would become Vision Spring. It was there, having to prove out a model in a very challenging environment, that I caught the entrepreneurial bug and discovered the invigorating twists and turns and headaches of boots-on-the-ground problem-solving. In the field, questions came at lightning speed. What was the best way to identify people who had the interest and capability to start and run their own businesses? What was the most effective way to train and incentivize them? How could the program maintain financial sustainability? Where should I spend money, and where should I skimp? What was the best way to approach an unknown community and engage in a dialogue? What was the best way to build credibility?
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.